Hello Cancer, this is Joe and I'm going to do your 2020 relationship check-in reading. This is June 2020 for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. We're just going to take a peek at your romantic relationship, whether you're serious and committed or dating or who knows what is going on in a relationship that is romantically kind of, it involves romance or love or companionship. So this isn't a relationship reading that's general. This is more specific to your love relationship. So I'm going to pull some cards and I'm going to take a peek and we're going to clarify what needs to be clarified. And I'm going to start by saying that if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and let me know that you have, and I will include you in a drawing to win a free one-on-one reading with me coming up in the month of June. If you're already subscribed, be sure to let me know so I can include you on that. Alright, so that's 2. And this is an intuitive reading, so keep in mind it's not going to be for everybody. You'll know if it's for you. It'll make sense. A good portion of it will fit with you. And I don't read cards in reverse usually. If I feel like intuitively they need to be read in reverse, then I will do so, but I most likely will not be reading reversals. And we need 2 more cards to start, and we will see what is going on in June. There's our card. If that came out, that's what came out. Bottom of the deck, death and rebirth. So this is a very common theme here in the month of June in my readings that have been coming out. Not necessarily death and rebirth or the death card in a sense, but just endings, a lot of completions and new cycles beginning. So this tells me here that in June there's probably going to be a completion of some sort in your relationship. And that doesn't mean that the relationship is ending or coming to an end. It just means some aspect of your relationship is going to be changing or going in a different direction, or something else could be happening in that relationship that changes things. So where are you coming from in May going into June? What is the theme here? You have the 3 of Wands. Okay, this is nice. And what I want to do though is, before we get into these, I want to kind of flip some of them over and then we can start talking about them. This just came out in Cancer singles reading, 6 of Pentacles. My decks are really well shuffled. And like I said, there just seems to be some repeating themes in a lot of these readings. So this is really what's on your mind, what you're thinking about. And this is where you're coming from. I have a feeling that some of you are looking for some major change in a relationship to improve. What are you feeling? What is it that has you up in your feelers? You have the Ace of Pentacles. Alright, and then your shadow side. What is it that maybe you need to know, you're afraid of, you're worried about? What is it you want most? What is it you fear most? We'll explore what that could be. Then you have the Wheel of Fortune. So that's great. And then leaving June, going into July, you have the Ace of Cups. So what I see here immediately is the need for some communication, because something feels stagnant. And the first thing that I notice is the Death card. To me, this is you wanting something to change, a way of things happening in your relationship to change. Something to you needs to something needs to be addressed. And to me, I feel like this is something that has probably been going on for some time. I feel that this is kind of speaking about going to a higher level of commitment. This to me feels like it's quite possibly a dating relationship or a semi-committed relationship, and I think that this is something that you want to end, and not end the relationship, but that cycle of the relationship to end and to develop into something a lot more firm and serious. I see the 3 of Wands, so you've been looking for this to happen for some time, and so you're waiting for this to kind of manifest and come in. And I think it's something that you're waiting for that offer. You've been thinking about this. You're waiting for your partner to kind of ante up, so to speak, and to present you that commitment. and this is something that you very much want to have happen in your life, in your relationship. You want that growth. You want the new next stage of your relationship to happen. And so I think the wheel here is telling me that you're a little worried that you're not going to get what you want out of this relationship. You're a little worried that it isn't going to happen. You're a little worried that maybe they don't quite feel the same way as you do. But I think that you have the Ace of Cups here. And to me, this is speaking about what's next. And the Ace of Cups is about that next new step actually happening in your love relationship. So it is very much going to happen for you. I don't feel like there's a whole lot of cards that need to be clarified here, because this is a very plain, simple check-in, and there isn't a whole lot of mystery. The way that I intuitively feel that things have gone for you is there's probably been a period of time where you felt like you've been waiting a little too long for the next stage of your relationship to transition, and your partner, the person that you're dealing with, has probably been a little slow to reciprocate those feelings, and that could be out of fear from past issues that your person has had with relationships and things that you would perceive to be a failure. But really, there's no failures. There's only lessons in life, and that's the way I look at it. So I think that they're finally coming around in June. So if you've been waiting for your partner to get on the ball and get on the same page with you, so to speak, that's going to happen. This is what you've been thinking about. This is what you very much want more than anything. This is in your heart of hearts. That Ace of Pentacles is that new part of that relationship actually taking hold and growing into something much bigger. I don't think you need to worry so much about that. I think that's more in your subconscious. You're worrying about not getting that chance, that opportunity, not having that manifest in your relationship, and being worried that this person you very much care about not reciprocating. And I think this is just merely a worry. That Ace of Cups is very significant in this, and I think you're going to get what you want out of this. So this is a very good reading, Cancer. So for those of you that have been in a relationship for a while, or even maybe it doesn't have to be long term, this could be you might be dating for a number of weeks and you're ready to kind of just commit to that one person. This doesn't necessarily have to be anything to do with marriage yet, although for some of you it could be. But I think a lot of you, this is just about being exclusive and making that exclusive commitment come alive and happen. So, like I said, I don't feel like I need to clarify a whole lot of these, but I do want to see what happens with this Ace of Cups. What comes out? Is there anything that you need to know? And this kind of makes me nervous. Strength. Okay, so Strength to me is a beautiful card in this, because I think that there's an idea that strength is just being like mentally strong, and not just physically strong, but mentally strong and just charging ahead. But really, to me, strength is about, in all situations, taking the path of compassion and love. And I think that this is, to me, shows that your partner, the person you're dealing with, is going to probably reciprocate with you with what you want to happen, how you want things to play out, in a way that surprises you. And I think it actually is something that builds you up. It gives you strength, because you probably have had so much needless worry about this. So this death and rebirth, this is the ending of this first bit of your relationship cycle and transitioning into the new part, a new phase of this relationship. And this reciprocation, I think, builds you up. I think it actually gives you a lot of internal strength that maybe you were feeling weary. And I think this reciprocation is indicated with the Ace of Cups, and I think that brings out a new, renewed feeling in you, and I think it's really beautiful. I think this is a great card to have come out. I don't necessarily assign cards to signs. I know a lot of readers do that. I don't, because we have so many different aspects in our chart anyway. But you could be dealing with a Leo. Maybe not. That doesn't really matter, but I think that's quite significant that the Strength card did come out, so that could point to that. We're going to pull one more. I just want to see what else there might be there in June going into July for you. Let's see. Cancer, your love relationship, June 2020. Just want one more message for you and we'll wrap it up. So let's see. We have the moon. Okay. So I really feel the moon in this still represents your fears. And I think this is I don't want to use the word a warning because I don't like using that, but I think this is like saying to you to not be overcome by worry and fear. I think any worries and fears that you have are as a result of relationships in the past that have carried over some things that you perceive are negative or that were negative, and it very much is still a part of you. And so I think that you might have this worry or fear that this might be another disappointment, that you're worried that even though if they reciprocate, and when that does happen, you might still have this little bit of feeling worried about that something might happen to upset or end the relationship. I think there's just the idea of being a little overly paranoid, and I don't mean that in a negative way toward you, but I think it just is something maybe you kind of have become used to happening over and over again. I mean, that's what relationships are about, and it's discovering whether you're compatible or not compatible with somebody. And so I think that you found this compatibility, and I think you're very passionate about that because it comes out in this reading. But I think you worry probably a little too much, and if you worry a little too much, it might cause some strain between you and your partner. So I would let go of any worries or fears that you have. I think that this is really pointing out, saying not to get carried away in your mind and your thoughts and in your feelings in June, and to just go with the flow. Let things happen. You have the Strength card and the Ace of Cups. There could be absolutely nothing better than this as far as the outcome goes into June, because that commitment does come through in June in this reading. So with that said, we're going to pull two of these and we're going to end it. And again, if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you are subscribed, let me know and say subscribed in the comments. I'll include you in the drawing. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that, and I'll make sure to include you there. And we're going to pull maybe one or two of these. I'm not sure. We're going to see what it feels like here. Sometimes one is enough. We don't need to get too deep into it. Let's see. Chop wood. So I think this, to me, says there's some unfinished business that you need to tend to in June. And this might not be related to the relationship, but any unfinished business might hinder some of the things that you want to come out in June from happening. I think this is saying to wrap up any loose ends, because tidying up any of the loose ends that you have is going to only help bring things kind of more into alignment, and you get to see that some of the things that you want come out probably much quicker, because everything is cleaned up, everything is tidied up. You may not these could be insignificant things to do with your finances, and your work and career, or this could really be about any number of things. But I think in that working out any unfinished business and loose ends in your life really helps you bring some clarity, and I think that's why this is saying that it isn't just cleaning things up that need to be tidied up in your life, little loose ends and things like that, but I think it also gives you a focus, something else to focus on. It brings you a little bit more clarity in your life, and I think it helps only bring some more positive change your way. So I think that's probably the most intuitively, that's the message I get. For others of you, this might mean something else, but you'll know that on your own. We're going to pull one more, and we're going to end it. So let's see. If we don't get one that jumps out or pops out, I'm just going to pull one that feels right. a leg up. So this is about getting either being a helping hand to somebody or somebody reaching out to help you. I think that if you this goes really with this chop wood with respect to tidying up any loose ends and anything that you need to tend to in June to wrap up. I think a leg up is really saying that you may need to ask somebody to help you with a few of these things, and that may very well be your partner. You may find that you need some assistance from them. Others of you, this might mean you really are missing an opportunity to help your partner along with something. They may need your assistance or help with something, and maybe they're not really willing to ask you. Maybe they just are afraid to bother you with some of their things that they have going on in their life. But whichever way this goes, I think this is about cooperation and being a helping hand to one another. So, Cancer, that is your relationship check-in for June 2020. If you like it, leave a thumbs up, let me know, and make sure to comment, subscribe if you want to be included in the drawing, and make sure you've subscribed if you haven't already. So I'm going to end with that and say have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you again very soon.